show because you have in the main event, you have Gennady, Triple G Golovkin, who's on all the pound-for-pound lists these days, and then you have Gonzalez as well on Chocolatito on the pound-for-pound list. So that's really a fitting name, and both fighters are in their prime, and they're both fighting great opponents with Willie Winone Jr. and Edgar Sosa. So we're excited to bring this fight. It's kind of reminiscent of a lot of the fights that would take place at the Forum, at the Fabulous Forum, where you have so many great champions fighting, and we're really looking forward to this. The ticket sales are going really well. We've been on sale for only 2 weeks now, and it's over 5,000 tickets. So it's scaled for 13,000, and we're really excited about that. In 2 weeks, it's a great start for the ticket sales, and it seems like Gennady, when you put on a quality product like this, the fans respond. With that, I'd like to introduce, representing the WBC, Bill Kaplan. He'll say a few words on behalf of the World Boxing Council.
Yay, Tony. That's the biggest round of applause I've ever received, so thank you. This mic is cutting out, so Tom, fortunately my voice is loud enough where I don't need a microphone. The reason I'm here, Mauricio Suleiman, the president of the WBC, asked me to speak for just a few seconds. The WBC is so proud to be associated with this show. Everybody that knows boxing knows this is going to be a great show. And I have personal experience with the Forum in the really the heyday or the salad days of the Forum, when many great fighters fought there. And Tom and Mauricio are going to do their best to have some of them there on fight night. I'll just name some of the guys that really started the Forum. Ruben Oliveras, Montechianapolis, pretty good fighters, right? Muhammad Ali, remember him? Kenny Norton, Marco Antonio Barrera, Schoolboy Bobby Chacon, the Z-Boys, Zarate and Zamora, Emil Griffith, Ernie Big Red Lopez, and on and on and on and on. So we will try and have some of those fighters there to honor them that night. I want to tell you about one thing that you don't know about, and that is the WBC now has a fund, and this fund sends weekly, call it stipends or allowances or a pension or whatever, to over 40 fighters who are in need. And I've been personally involved with 2, and how did I get personally involved? Because media people called me, Ron Borges from Boston, Norm Fronheim from Phoenix, and said, this guy needs help. Do you think you can get him in that WBC fund? And we've done it. So you guys can make a difference. If you know somebody that's a former champion or former contender who can't pay his rent or can't buy his groceries, let us know about it. Let us know about it, and we'll get him in the fund. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Just a note on that. I know that WBC does a lot of charity work and really looks after a lot of their former champions and former fighters who are, falling on hard times. So we really appreciate that. Bill and Mauricio is really leading the charge for the WBC fund. An event like this with all these great fighters on the show and these 2 great champions. It wouldn't be possible without a strategic television partner. Gennady has an exclusive contract with HBO. They've been very supportive. They've made him basically into the one of the most known and marketable fighters in the sport. I'd like to welcome Eric Morales, tremendous fighter to tremendous champion. I had Kevin Kelly when he fought Eric Morales, and Eric, was the WBC champion at that time, and a tremendous fighter. So we appreciate Eric coming down. But I was getting to Peter Nelson here from HBO. He's been very supportive of Gennady and everything he's done, and without the financial support of a strategic partner like HBO, a show like this couldn't take place. So we're really appreciative of that. Tony Walker is also representing HBO. He isn't here in attendance, but I wanted to bring up Peter Nelson to say a few words on behalf of HBO.
All right, thank you, Tom. I want to thank all the media for being here. This is truly an event of your creation in many ways. Gennady Golovkin is someone that many members of the media came to us and said, we want to see this guy fight on HBO. Chocolatito Gonzalez, the exact same thing. There's been a long, hard road for 112 pounders to make their way back on to HBO, and we're thrilled that this fight is happening. It's such a high quality of Edgar Sosa against Chocolatito Gonzalez for his 112-pound title. It's been about 20 years, I believe, since HBO last had a fight at flyweight. We had a Carvajal fight that was at a slightly lower weight, that was a couple years later. So it's really been a long time, a long road to hoe, but when the fighters fight at an elite level and have achieved at that level, and for as long as Chocolatito has, they merit an opportunity to be seen by as wide and appreciative an audience as we can possibly provide for them. And that was the concept behind this event, and it wouldn't have been possible without Tom Loeffler at K2, his vision for this event, along with Mr. Honda. And so we have at HBO deep appreciation for their vision to bring this fight onto this show. So I really want to thank the fighters and their teams, Carlos, and Mr. Sosa. This is awesome. We're really thrilled about this, and we look forward to seeing you all on May the 16th. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. This is really reminiscent, or it reminds me of when Gennady made his debut on HBO. It was, I remember, it was September 2012. And a lot of people have heard about Gennady. A lot of people have seen videotape or YouTube videos of him and his knockouts and how strong he was. A lot of sparring footage as well, but they never seen him live or telecast here on HBO. And as soon as he had that fight against Proxa in September 2012, he was on his way. And we feel the same way with Roman Gonzalez and Chocolatito. He's kind of that legend of he's already on all the pound for pound lists, but people want to see him fight live. They want to see him, perform in the ring and in the prime of his career, and we're really excited about that. And we see a lot of big things for Roman coming down the road for him. With that, I'd like to bring up the manager for Edgar Sosa. This fight couldn't have happened without the cooperation of everyone working together. So I want to acknowledge Sanford Promotions, Fernando Beltran, who's a close friend of mine. We have a very good relationship with Fernando. And just to say a few words on behalf of Edgar, I'd like to bring up Carlos Lennon. Oh, sorry, Carlos, no. Jose, I'd like to bring up Jose Camarillo to say a few words about Edgar Sosa.
I just want to say that this fight couldn't be possible without the support. This fight couldn't be possible without your support and Chocolatito's will and Carlos Blandon and all the people involved in these great promotions. We are very honored to share this great card with the best pound for pound fighter of the world, GGG, against Willie Monroe. And Edgar Sosa is so happy. He's happy as he can be because he knows that HBO it's very strange, very rare that HBO people they watch the flyweights, and he was in the Victoria Sosa. He's one of the fighters, Edgar. He was in HBO, and they stole the night on April 14, 2007 in San Antonio with Pacquiao, with Travieso Arce, Jose Chavez Jr. Anyway, Sosa against Viloria, they stole the night. It was on HBO broadcasting, and now we are here again. We thank you Tono Effler for making possible this great fight. Bueno, yo les decía que aquella noche, la última vez que HBO se fijó en los pesos chicos fue cuando Edgar Sosa peleó contra Viloria. Aquella vez estaba Manny Pacquiao en la cartelera, estaba el Travieso Arce contra Cristian Mijares, estaba con los Chávez Jr. y de todas maneras los pesos chicos, Sosa contra Viloria, se robaron esa noche. Y le doy las gracias, digo, al Chocolatito, a Carlos Blandón, a Tono Effler, y la verdad es que es un gran honor compartir la cartelera con el mejor libra por libra para nosotros, que es GGG, que es Gennady Golovkin. Y pues yo creo que la pelea, eso yo no lo digo en inglés, pero yo creo que la pelea de Chocolatito contra Sosa, que me disculpen, Tono Effler, I am sorry for saying this, but maybe Chocolatito against Sosa, they will steal the night.
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
So, ya se lo dije a él. Yo creo que el Chocolatito contra Sosa es el Chocolatito, pues también está considerado entre los mejores libra por libra. Chocolatito is considered one of the best pound for pound. Pues es todo lo que decía de los pesos chicos. Están otra vez en HBO y yo creo que no van a desmerecer. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Jose. It's a good memory where he translated everything he said in English. But no, he's right. Jose is definitely right. With a fight like this as the co-feature, I mean, this could be a main event on most television broadcasts. So I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be the fight of the night. As Jose had said, Edgar, is a former champion. He has many good names on his record, including Brian Viloria, and so we wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. With that being said, I'd like to bring up the manager of Chocolatito. First, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Honda and Tekken Promotions, promoter for Roman Gonzalez, and without their help and their cooperation, this fight wouldn't have been possible. And they understand that this is a big opportunity for both Edgar and Roman, and it's a risky fight for both, but it's something that will be exciting for the fans, and that's who's going to benefit for it. So with that, I'd like to bring up Carlos Blandón.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the media that was here supporting us, all the fans, and Edgar Sosa, his manager, Jose, Tom Loeffler from K2 Promotions, Peter Nelson from HBO, our champ, Roman, and definitely would like to thank Taken Promotions, which is our promoter, and like Tom said, without Taken Promotions and K2 and HBO all working together, and Sanford, this probably wouldn't be possible. We're really excited to have Roman fighting in HBO. I think this is definitely a big portal for many other big events. I think that it's a dream come true for Roman, so we're really excited to have everybody assisting. It's probably one of the most important fights because we know that HBO is definitely the best network for boxing, so we're really excited. We want to thank everybody, and we hope to have all of you assisting on May 16th in the forum, which definitely, like they said before, from the WBC, we have great fights, and we remember one of them especially as Nicaraguans, which was Alexis Arguello winning his first championship against Ruben Puas Olivares, which was a memorable night for us Nicaraguans. It was the first champion that Nicaragua has had, and thank God that he was also one of Rowan Gonzalez's mentor, trainer, and it's very meaningful for us to be able to fight in the forum, which has been a big portal for other fighters, and we think that it's a great opportunity. So we want to thank you all, thank all the promoters and everybody that got in accordance so we can make this happen, and we hope to keep fighting for HBO and at the same time to be fighting here in the United States, which is great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlos. That was certainly one of the more memorable fights taking place at the forum. With that being said, I'd like to bring up the people that you're all here to see. As I mentioned, Edgar Sosa is a former champion, true warrior from Mexico, and you know, both of the fighters had flown a long way. Edgar just came in fact, this morning from Mexico City, and Roman and Carlos flew in last night from Nicaragua. So we appreciate them both being here. It's important. You know, this fight is big enough to have its own press conference. It wouldn't have made sense to have it on the same press conference as the Triple G press conference. So this is a big enough fight for its own press conference, and we want to just acknowledge both fighters for being here and participating in this event. So with that being said, I'd like to bring up Edgar Sosa.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes a todos. Pues antes que nada quiero agradecer a Dios que me permite nuevamente estar aquí en una pelea de campeonato del mundo, en algo que es mi vida, mi trabajo, algo que me apasiona. Y bueno, pues también agradecer a Tom, a Román González, a Carlos Blandón y a Peter Nelson, que bueno, pues el estar aquí en Los Ángeles, California, y el poder estar en una cartelera compartiendo con el mejor libra por libra en este momento, Gennady Golovkin, es increíble para mí y es un honor el poder compartir y regresar nuevamente a Estados Unidos a disputar una pelea de campeonato del mundo y enfrentarme a un gran peleador, un gran campeón como lo es Román, un peleador tricampeón invicto. Y bueno, pues eso me motiva mucho, y por respeto a él y a toda la gente que le gusta el boxeo, llegar en la mejor condición física de mi carrera. Comentaban hace rato que hacía algunos años que no se veía una pelea de pesos chicos por HBO. También estoy muy contento por eso, y sé que haremos un gran papel, que nos entregaremos esa noche y que posiblemente nos la vamos a robar y será la mejor pelea de la noche. También igual pelea en el foro, es un escenario histórico donde ya comentaban que se han enfrentado muchísimos peleadores, y ha sido un escenario histórico de tantas y tantas batallas. Entonces es por eso que me siento pues contento, muy motivado. Sé que a pesar de mi veteranía me encuentro todavía en condiciones físicas óptimas, mentales y emocionales para llegar y hacer un gran papel, y por qué no venir por la victoria. Quiero agradecer a Dios, a la empresa, a mi promotor y mi representante que negociaron este combate, a Román, a su empresa. Me siento muy contento y agradecido con Dios y con la vida. Muchísimas gracias.
Okay, as I also said, I'm grateful with God, with promoters, with Chocolatito. He said that he knows that the forum is a great arena, great fights having there, and he is very motivated. Even though the years have passed, but he is still feeling in a very good shape, and he said also that he expects to put a great fight, and he said that he is honor for him to share this red card with such an outstanding fighter like GGG, Gennady Golovkin. For him also, Gennady Golovkin is the best pound for pound. He said again, I'm grateful with God, with life, for allowing me to have this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you for translating that. Those were nice words from for Edgar, and we appreciate that. With that, I'd like to bring up, as I mentioned, he's on all the pound-for-pound lists. He's undefeated, 42-0. The pride of Nicaragua. We expect to have a lot of Nicaraguan fans there to support Ramon. Obviously, a lot of Mexican boxing fans will be there to support Edgar. So this is a really exciting fight and just a tremendous addition to the show. So with that, I'd like to bring up the WBC flyweight champion, undefeated Ramon Chocolatito Gonzalez.
Muy buenas a todos, Dios me los bendiga. Bueno, esta es una oportunidad grandísima para mi vida, de poder compartir el 16 de mayo una pelea muy bonita, enfrentarme con mi gran amigo, el gran campeón que Edgar Sosa, campeón ya conocido. Esa noche pienso yo que esa va a ser la mejor pelea de la noche. Agradecerle a HBO sobre todas las cosas que lo ha tomado en cuenta, a Take Promotion, a Kimi también, y esa noche va a ser una noche inolvidable, una noche que los fanáticos del boxeo nunca lo van a olvidar jamás. Y bueno, agradecerle sobre todas las cosas, Dios, que esta noche vamos a llegar en muy buenas condiciones y hacer un buen trabajo el día de la pelea. Gracias a todos y que Dios me los bendiga.
So Roman wants to thank God first and most importantly. He also wants to thank the great champion Edgar Sosa, which he will be fighting against. He's also a great friend of his. Wants to thank Taken Promotions, Akemi, and Mr. Honda for making this possible through HBO and K2 Promotions. He wants to thank HBO for this opportunity, and at the same time, he believes that this fight will definitely steal the night and will be an excellent event. So he's very happy. Wants to thank God and all the Nicaraguan community. Thank you.
Thank you for translating that, Carlos. Before we wrap up, and then we'll have both fighters pose with the prized green and gold belt. I just wanted to reiterate, the tickets start at $30. We priced it very well to have as many boxing fans at the Forum as we can. Our goal is to sell out the Forum. Just like in the old days, we want to bring the excitement back. And with two fighters, Triple G versus Willie Monroe Jr. and Chocolatito versus Edgar Sosa, this is the type of entertainment the boxing fans will respond to. And before we pose the fighters, I'd like to actually acknowledge and bring up the co-promoter of for the main event, the promoter of Willie Monroe Jr., Artie Palulu, to say a few words, and then we'll have the face-off.
I'm sorry I'm late. I apologize. We're from Philadelphia, so we got lost. But just want to say thank you to everybody, especially to Tommy. It wasn't hard to make the fight. It's a very difficult fight. We're fighting the best middleweight in the world, but it's a fight. I was telling Peter Nelson when we were at another engagement a few minutes ago, is that I called Willie Monroe when Tom made me the offer. And I said, do you want the fight? He says, we'll make the fight and we'll figure everything else out later. I said, okay, you sure? He said, 100% I want the fight because I'm going to win the fight. And, you know, everybody here knows that a lot of athletes say they want the fight, and then there's a way of getting out of it. They don't want the fight, whether it's the money, the finances, whatever. Willie and I made the deal with Tom before we finalized the financial end of the deal to fight the best middleweight in the world because he wants to fight. I just want to thank HBO and Tom I apologize for being late. I'm glad I didn't miss lunch, so I hope everybody has a good day, and thank you very much, and thanks for having me. I would like to say one other thing, just to thank ESPN. And this is a plug, but it's a good plug. Because of the Boxino tournament, and because Willie Monroe fought 4 times on ESPN, and won fights that he wasn't supposed to win, he's put himself in this position now to fight on HBO. He's number 2 in the world, and the tournament that ESPN helped me create has actually given him an opportunity to fight the best middleweight in the world. So that I'd like to say, and thanks Brian Cluter and John Campani. Thank you.
Thanks, Artie. It's definitely a testament, and that was one of the reasons why Willie was selected, because of the exposure that he had on ESPN. But as already mentioned, I had mentioned this at the first press conference, that it wasn't hard to put that fight together, just like with this fight. When I'd spoken with Mr. Honda and with Akimi, agreeing to put Roman on the show, and then with Fernando Beltran, with Edgar Sosa, both fights were easy to make. And that's the sign of true boxers and true warriors that want to actually get in the ring and prove that they're the best. So with that, we'll bring up both Roman and Edgar for a stuff.
No se pare. Chocolate, Edgar. You're not going anywhere. Take your time. Take your time. Su derecha acá. Edgar, straight ahead.
Right here, guys. Straight ahead. Right here. Right here. There we go. All right, get that there. All right, right here, guys. Right there. There we go.
Acá arriba, por favor.
I'll get the thumb there too.
Acá a su derecha.
Before we do the face off. Yeah.
Mira, face off. Más abajo. Cara arriba. Abajo. Over your head.
We're going to have Eric Morales come up so he can pose with the 2 fighters as well.
A la derecha, Eric, aquí arriba, arriba, Eric, eso, Eric.
This way.
Eric, aquí, Eric. Abajo el centro, abajo el centro. A tu derecha y acá, por favor, atrás. Esto es lo importante, Eric, esto de casa. Over here, guys, over here. This is like chingón.
Right. Straight ahead, guys, right here. Right, there we go. Straight ahead. There we go.
Abajo, centro, al centro, abajo.
It's one with Tom and the fighters. Tom will get you and the 2 fighters together. All right, we good? Let's go eat.
And now they'll be serving lunch, so when everyone sits down after the they'll serve lunch.
Let's see.
Thank you.